Life without love is like tree without blossoms or fruits. Same thing with marriage. Marriage without love is like relationship with your enemy. My name is Chioma John. On this program, you and I today, I have a special couple. I wouldn't want you to go far away. Just sit tight. Since this family, each day, each time I see them, the way they act and behave, it looks as if they are just starting. Today we want to know the secret behind this. So join me while I introduce my guest today, the very Reverend Jonathan and Mrs. Ngozi Udofia.
Thank you. Thank you very much. You're welcome.
Okay. Let's just start it this way. How old is your marriage?
This marriage is 20 years.
20 years.
20 years in April
That
this
is
year.
wonderful.
So 20 years.
Really?
Yeah.
You both are just looking as if you just started.
Yes.
Can you remember how this started?
Very, very well.
All right.
Maybe memories, maybe me, I will be faster in remembering than you.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, it all started in Aba in the year 2000 when he came for a 1-year service. It was after theological training in Methodist Church. They will send you out for like a youth service. He has been in Kanu all these years, born and brought up in Kanu. But ministry after training brought him down to Aba. And it was that year our path crossed, 2000. And I remember the first day I saw him, when he came to report, he was standing in front of the church with his two luggages. It's still very, very fresh on my mind. I saw him with his two luggages standing at the gate, probably waiting for a taxi that would take him. Immediately I saw him, I was so excited. Somebody I've not known before. I was so excited, you know. I was like telling somebody, talking to myself in the taxi. Well, I said, wow, our new minister has come. You know, like that joy, that expression of there's something you've been looking for all these years and the thing has finally came. And for me, maybe he will share his, and that was at that point when I was having that feeling. I heard the voice. I said, "This is your husband." I started binding. I said, "This is infatuation. Somebody you've not seen before. How can somebody you've not seen before, you've not met before, and I'm just hearing this is your husband?" I just removed my eyes. You know, gradually, he was posted. Luckily for two of us, he was posted. We're worshiping in the same church building, but not in the same local assembly. He was to pastor English congregation while I was in Igbo congregation as a music minister. I never knew that his eyes was on me. I've been a singing minister, so I didn't know that while I'll be singing for the Igbo people, once in a while he will be admiring me and he will be looking at me like, sometimes he will come, by then he has not known my name. He said, "Please, can you come and help us and take the songs for English service?" I was okay. And the first day he approached me very closely and asked me my name. I still remember. It's very fresh. The place we were standing, we were three standing there. He asked me my name and I told him. He now came and told me, he said, "Do you know that from the day I knew your name, anytime I see you, I just want to call you?" I said, "Wow." So what does this one have in mind now? And I still remember the first word I heard, "This is your husband." And from the background I'm coming from, the Christian background, I know that it is not my duty as a woman to be proposing to a man or to tell a man, "Will you marry me?" And that was continued. And fortunately for us again, I was working in the church office as an office assistant. So almost every day, because of me, he will come to office. He will tell us what I thought because of you. So almost every day he will come to the office, and you know, just like that. One of the days he felt one of the weeks he felt sick, and he was admitted. I don't know why it was me they sent to go and check on him. that he's in the hospital to know how he's doing. And it was there the love started manifesting, the expressions. Somebody on a sick bed, instead of him to be thinking of how to recover, he's thinking of how to get close to a lady. And it was there, and then he started asking me some questions about my family. My mom okay, my father died early, and how will your mom feel if you marry at this time? I said, my mom already know that I will get married in time, because we've been talking about it, we've been praying about it. She knows. By the way, my mother was my first mentor, so she knows God has been speaking to her about my life, how your daughter is going to be. So, and it happened. It was after he came out from the hospital. He made proposal. Will you marry me?
All right, and when he made the proposal, I wanted to just conclude yours.
Okay, when he made the proposal, me already am convinced that he's my husband. And I've attended some marriage seminars where we were told, when you are convinced about something, why delay? Why are you doing shakara? So that you will not give the devil the chance of preaching another sermon to you. So at the point when he made the proposal, I didn't delay. And you know, we married at a time where there is this ideology: if a man proposes to you, give him months, don't rush, don't do this. Yeah. If you answer immediately, not like today, that if a man, before a man will even propose,
you have already started asking
yes, you know. So immediately he proposed, I told him, I said, I will marry you because I'm already convinced.
All right.
I agree.
Well, it's still fresh.
With the things she has said, you'll be able to.
Of course, she has said her own part, and that was the true picture of everything that happened. The day, like she said, that very day I asked, what is your name? I didn't know what moved me, I just asked. And she told me her name with the other persons. I remember saying something. I just said, okay, I just said, girls, I said, girl. I said, okay. So since that particular day, I discovered that if I see her, I just want to call her name. Even if there's nothing, even if I don't want to tell her anything, but I just want to call her Ngo. Then one day she was ministering in an evening. So I was coming to the church, and I looked and I saw her singing. The Holy Spirit said, that is your wife. I said, no, it can't be my wife. She can't be my wife. Look at this girl, this lady. She, I don't see her wearing earrings. She doesn't palm her hair. No, I'm not going to marry such a kind of a person. I just say straight in that place. I just told myself, you are under lust. I say, I come against you. I started binding immediately. Then I left that place because of that voice. I went to, as soon as I got to the house, the Lord spoke, she is your wife. I said, but God, why? You know, I'm looking for some kind of flashy ladies, even if I'm a minister. Let me look for people that dress those kind, those flashy way. I said, that is your wife. I said, okay. I kept quiet. After praying, just like, I was not praying for it, I was just praying against it. And the next morning, I discovered that I started liking this person straight. I said, okay, maybe this may be true. Then anytime I go to the church, I go to the office. Because of her, like she said, I would just go to the office even when I'm not supposed to be there. I would go there just to see her. She would greet me, and I was just looking at this lady. I said, wow, what kind of a person is this? So that was how we started a relationship. Like she said, God, that, I used to say that sickness, maybe it was designed by God. Okay. Because I've been thinking how to speak with her. Because from the way she was brought up, I know she would never come to my house. She would never. I know she would not come. And
that's how we were brought up.
Yes. Yeah. And I don't know how to approach her, and I just okay. Then I became sick. And when they asked her to come and see me, I said, wow, this is beautiful. And I was given a private word. So immediately I saw her. I didn't want to tell the doctor that I'm fine. Let me just take one more day. Maybe they will ask her to come back the next day. So the doctor that day, the next day said I should go. They will discharge. And again they asked her, go to the house and go and check on him. I said, this is the great opportunity. And I was living in a 3-bedroom flat. And I started talking and I proposed to her. When she said yes, the truth is, after just that statement, yes, I became well immediately in that place. No, I became fine.
So he was actually lovesick.
Somehow, I think maybe you may right. So I became fine immediately. So that is how the journey started. It was a beautiful one.
We still remember the date, 10th of February 2001.
One.
That's when he proposed.
Yes,
Yeah.
we have the date. I will celebrate it every year.
Okay, that's the all right. That is beautiful. You know what we are just recounting all this, I started asking myself, in Christendom, do we still have such? Can somebody godly now say, God said to me, he is my husband, she is my wife? Anyway, if you are just joining us, this is you and I, and today I have the family of the Udofias. Don't get away, we'll be right back. Welcome back. For these 20 years, have you ever misunderstood yourselves?
Plenty times.
Yes.
Is it possible to remember the first disagreements you had?
I will give you the story. I will. The first one, let me just say, the first one, you know, the truth is the Lord helped us. Both of us were virgins. I was a virgin, she was a virgin.
Interesting.
So that one was another battle on how for us to sleep it. We could not, because it was sure that was a trouble for us for the first few days. But the first disagreement we had was the disagreement of what? Light. We finished the wedding in Aba. I came down from Kafanchan. I was transferred and I came after the wedding, so we had to go back to Kafanchan. We went back to Kafanchan. The first night in Kafanchan, as we were sleeping, as we were about to sleep, she saw me going to off the light. She said, what am I doing? I said, I want to off the light now. He said, no. If you off the light, I can't sleep. Or in our house, we don't off light. I said, hey, you don't off light. Okay. But in our house, we used to off light too. But all the same, because I felt that I should be the one that should tolerate her. I felt that I'm the one that is the head of the family, so I should at least allow her. I said, no problem. So I slept, and that day I said, God, you just have to help me to sleep with this light. Because since I was born, this is the first time I was sleep with the light on. And God helped me. We slept that night, the light on. We kept doing this, and I was saying, God, how am I going to convince my wife that it's not good to sleep with the light on? I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to tell any lie. But what am I going to do? And within a few days again, I was walking somewhere. I overheard two men discussing that. So you know why some of you develop high problem? It's because you sleep with the light on. And they were not discussing with me. I was just passing. Maybe God wanted me to hear that. So immediately I heard that. That night, I didn't come back to tell her immediately. I left her. So we're about to sleep. I waited. He said, what are you doing again? I thought we have settled this. I said, look at you. You used to use glasses. You see, you've been using glasses for a long time. The problem is because you're sleeping with light. That I had it, that light used to have build as with light and I did after. He said, hey, is that so? I said, yes. He said, okay, off the light.
Without fighting over
the light. But now tell her to put the light on. She will never. That was the first disagreement we had. And the way it was settled, I just tolerated the situation. I just said, no, this should not be a problem. So that's the first
Okay, another one is I was brought up by a mom who don't use Maggi to cook. And she doesn't eat pepper because of her health. Okay. My mom can cook food without pepper. Sometimes she want to add maybe 1 or 2, so it's as good as you didn't put any. So, and she's not used to seasoning. Having married, I came into a man's life who he can even chew the seasoning. He can even lick it. So for him, that's the sweetness of the food. And I've been cooking soup, preparing food. One of the days he tested the food. He was like, this food is sweet too, but if you had added more seasoning, it would have been sweeter. You know, for me, I know the stress I went through preparing that food. Average an African woman, you are telling a woman after all your effort, say this is not sweet as you expect. You say it would have been better if you do this. I tolerated it. I said, okay, okay, no problem. And he now say, why you not the other seasoning? Must you use this one for the soup, the roiko? I said, okay. Anyway, that's what I used to know. We will change. And that's how I accepted and started adding more seasoning. Then the pepper own. He said, mommy, this soup no get enough pepper. I said, okay, we'll try. And as it stands today, I eat more pepper than him.
You have really told your stories, and we know that these things you mentioned now can cause serious problems in some homes. So why didn't it cause problem in your own home?
Number one, we understood what marriage is.
Okay.
Number two, we understood whose voice we heard and what want us to do in the life of each other. You know, as we were talking, I remember one of the days before we got married, while he was ministering, I was hearing God telling me what he wants me to do, why he's telling me to marry him, the reason why he's bringing us together. So number one is God factor. We brought God. God is the center of this marriage. We know why he brought us together. We understood what marriage is all about. That marriage is not an event. It's not an occasion. It's not just mere coming together of a man and a woman. It's an assignment. It's a mission. Helping each other to become what they should be. Now, having understood this is what God, this is the will of God for me. If I want to be better, if there is something that will come out of me more, God want to use this man to help to bring it out more. We are committed. Offenses come a lot of times.
Just a few days ago, a woman came to my house. They got married in 2019. And that marriage did not last up to 1 year till this moment. And I was trying to talk to the woman on Sunday. The husband said that God said to him. First, when he came and told us some things he discovered and the lady, I said, it's better you call this off, that this marriage will not work. It's better you call it off. He accepted. After a few months, he came back, telling us a story how God said to him, that I've answered you, and you don't want to obey me. 6 months into the wedding, I was asking myself, asking my husband, does it mean this man will not bring the wife? Little did we know that they are no longer together. Why I'm saying this, you said, you heard the voice of God. You said, and look at your marriage, so loving. What advice can you give such people now? Because they said God said, and your own now God said to you.
What I want to say is this. God said, God can speak to you, but you have a commitment to
Right.
you as a person. Let me say one thing in our marriages, we are deliberate in whatever we are doing. We are intentional. We know why we came together, and everything we want to do, we do it deliberately. Not that we are just, maybe we just felt we should do this. No, we just decide we're going to do this, and this is how we're going to do it, and we are doing it that way. Okay. So when God has spoken, God is not the one that is going to be telling you
marry your wife.
Marry your wife. Well, no, He has done it. You must work out. Work out your salvation of marriage.
Right.
So it was deliberate. So maybe they just had the voice of God, and they did not even understand what is the commitment in their coming together. So they need to understand the commitment. And one thing I want to say, I've discovered that disagreement helps us to understand ourselves better. That is one thing we discovered, the both of us, and that is how we work. So whenever we disagree, I want to see the outcome of that disagreement. I want to understand this man better. And we have kept on, we are 20 years in marriage, but there are certain things I don't know about my wife. And I see that I make her better every day, and she makes me better every day. The thing is, they've been looking at their weaknesses instead of their strength.
Finding fault in everything.
Yeah, and they don't want to take responsibility.
Yes.
Now, one other thing, as he was talking, I remember when we started married, at the early stage of our marriage, which I pray God will still help us to continue. I remember once in a while, maybe once in a week, once in 2 weeks, we'll ask ourselves questions. Yeah. Have I been meeting up your goal? The reason for which you're married?
She's good in that. I'm telling you, that has helped me.
Tell me, am I really submitting? Okay, I'll tell him. I'm not seeing the love. You are just talking it. Please, I want to see it. See, tomorrow, I want the love. Please, don't tell me I love him. Love is not a statement. I want the action. Yeah. I need to see love. Where is the love? You know, for this couple, I feel that a lot of people, and let me just also address, sometimes when we say God said, assess it properly. Good. To be sure that God said. We have three voices. You have your voice, you have the voice of God, and you have the voice of the devil speaking. So sometimes sometimes you can take your voice to mean the voice of God, because you know what you are looking for. Yeah. Okay, maybe I want to eat good food, or maybe I need a clothes. As I'm going out, I saw a cloth outside a shop. Ah, wow, this cloth is very nice. For me, at that point in time, my spirit will tell me, go, that is your cloth, go and buy it. And if I'm not careful, I will now be saying God said. And that is the problem we have as Christians, to the thin line between your voice and but your voice becomes God's voice when you have aligned yourself completely with God's voice. Now, if they don't understand themselves, understand, I have a role. I have to tolerate. I have to understand this woman. I have to know that two captains cannot be in a ship. Somebody must lead. Somebody must lead. Somebody's voice must be louder than each other. There must be somebody tapping the back. There must be somebody raising somebody up. There must be somebody saying, well done. There must be somebody to say, no, you didn't do it right. And there's somebody to say, okay, thank you for this correction. Everybody cannot be raising voice at each other. If not, it will become a war zone.
Right. I've really enjoyed my stay with you. Some people sent in some questions which I want us to at least let's handle one, because we don't have much time anymore. In a situation where you have language, that's the couple, this from this side, the other side, and from the beginning there was understanding, but along the line the wife is now beginning to be irritated once he hears her husband people discussing in their dialects. And the man said he has made efforts to ask her why it is that way, but he's not really making any positive move in their marriage. What advice do you give to the man and the woman? It was not so from the beginning.
Okay, should I talk? Okay, now.
Tell us.
Why would she behave like that? My husband is Akwa Ibom, and I'm Igbo. And God helping me, I don't even know how to say it. When I was getting married to him, honestly, this issue of language didn't even come to my mind. All I was interested in, what God has said, what God has for me, and I'm in for it. Yeah, have there been times when they are speaking their language and maybe I felt like, why are they talking like that? Maybe, no. Because for me, I know who I am. So, and if there's anything they will discuss in their language that I will not hear, I believe God doesn't want me to hear it. And that's how I've been living my life. And I don't give it attention. Why would I stop my husband from speaking his language? The truth is, there is something, she's now feeling jealous. Yeah. Yes, and she's feeling maybe there's something that must have happened. She felt offended.
Yeah, must be.
And she doesn't want to open up. And this thing she's not opening up to, it will end where she doesn't like. It will not end well for her. I am one of those that believe in dialogue. Talk. Sometimes if I want to talk, say, must we talk about this? I say, yes, so we have to talk about it too. Because if we don't talk about it, it's like you are heaping a log of books that you are not arranging. By the time you want to bring out one, everything will scatter. So, and this is what we need to understand in marriage. Before you marry this man, you know he wasn't your language.
Yeah.
And two of you agreed to marry. And if there's anything troubling you, as much as possible, there's one of the things that the Lord has been using to help me. I know the man I married. And there are times if I want to tell him something, he wouldn't want to give me a listening ear. First of all, I'll take it to God. I'll say, Father, if you want me to say this, convince him. Because me, I don't want trouble. If I start the trouble, it will not end well. God convince him first. And you see, God will convince him. By the time I'm talking, he will give me a listening. So the truth is there's something troubling her. And she's deceiving herself by not opening up.
All right, sir. So before we round off.
Well, in the issue of the language, like what I do, if I discuss anything with my people, maybe my wife is around there, what I do, immediately I will have to tell her, look at what we're discussing. I do that. Because I feel that it's good for her to know that I look at my discussion with my people because I know that it's possible for her to begin to say, what are they saying that they don't want me to hear? So I quickly do that. But the woman should be able to really understand the husband. The husband is making effort and she's not making effort. That is not the best.
That's part of the commitment.
Wow, I guess you actually enjoyed our stay with you today on this program. And if you are married, if you are living happily, you want to be part of this program, the number is there on the screen. Give us a call. We might give you opportunity to be here, but when you come here, don't tell a lie. That's what we have for you today. Till next week, I believe we'll still come your way with another topic or another couple, depending. I also want to use this opportunity to appreciate you for being there. Your calls, your text messages, sincerely, I appreciate them. I want to also appreciate Polymath Furniture for giving me this beautiful set that have kept you and I going